Welcome to the Write Right Academy. I'm Matthew R. Miller. Did you know, by the way, that the Write Right Academy, this channel, when you watch it for free, you are actually getting a college-level writing course. I used to teach writing at a university, and I'm making videos about the same stuff that I would teach my students. So if you want to be a writer, if you're a new writer, watch the channel, tell your friends. You're really getting some good information here. I don't say that because it's me. I'm saying that because I think it's valuable to you. And obviously, I want the channel to succeed, but I want you to be assured that this is actually real stuff. So, that being said, we've talked about complete sentences, and we said that a complete sentence must have a subject, meaning a noun, a pronoun, an infinitive, or gerund. That subject must be attached to a verb somehow, and it must be a complete thought. It is my sister's birthday today. Complete thought. Great. I walked to the store. Subject, verb, complete thought. Great. Complete sentence. We said an incomplete sentence, meaning a sentence fragment, is lacking the subject and or the verb and or the complete thought. Now, I want to talk about clauses and how to join them, okay? And this is not complicated as it may sound. A clause is basically a group of words together, group of related words, okay? There are independent clauses and there are dependent clauses. Now, think about a child who is extremely attached to its mother. You know, let's say a little girl, she can't leave her mother's side. You know, she always wants mommy. She won't let go of her mother's hand. Think of that as a dependent clause. She is a dependent child. Now, consider another mother who has a little girl who's very independent, who can go off on her own, play with her friends. Yeah, she's always glad mom's there, but she's not so clingy. That's an independent clause. Here's the meaning. An independent clause is basically a complete sentence. It's a group of words that alone can be a complete sentence. A dependent clause by itself cannot be a complete sentence. Simple, right? Every sentence must have at least one independent clause to be a correct sentence. You can attach as many dependent clauses as you want, but you have to have at least one independent clause. Now, let's say you have some independent clauses, complete sentences essentially, that you want to join together because they're related. You don't want just subject, verb, period, subject, verb, period, subject, verb, period. That's how a 3-year-old writes. And you want to improve on that, okay? So you need to learn how to join clauses together, join sentences together. And there are a few ways you can do this in English. The most basic way, of course, is a semicolon. If you replace a period with a semicolon, it is correct. It's the easiest way. You want two independent clauses, two complete sentences that are related, though. So, I wore a t-shirt today, semicolon. It was so hot outside. They're related, right? Hot, wore a t-shirt. Well, what if I said, I wore a t-shirt today, semicolon. Elephants have giant feet. Those are not related, are they? So you wouldn't use a semicolon there. Okay. So a semicolon's the easiest way. The other way is with conjunctions. These are little words whose purpose is to join, conjoin, to join sentences together. Today we're going to talk about coordinating conjunctions. Probably the easiest of the conjunctions because there's only 7 of them in English. They're for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. And the first letter of each one of those spells out fanboys, if that helps you remember. I don't know. Some people like the mnemonic devices. Now, each one of these has a different meaning, and you need to choose the one that fits your sentence the best. For, okay, for is basically the same as because. It gives a reason for something to happen, kind of like a cause and effect. I wore a t-shirt today for it was hot outside. Okay, it means because. Now, in modern, at least in modern American English, we don't use for as much anymore. It sounds a little bit formal. You can still use it in writing in some situations. It's perfectly fine, but sometimes because might sound a little more natural. Right, next one, and. And basically takes two things that are similar, puts them together, or it adds information. For example, my sister is a great cook, and she is the head chef at a restaurant. Related, right? Okay, the next one, nor. Nor adds negative information, and nor is a little bit different because the first clause basically has to have not in it. Okay, so, example. My sister doesn't like to eat vegetables, nor does she like to eat fruit. Okay? Notice that you have not in the first sentence, nor adds negative information like another not. And notice that after nor, you switch the position of the subject verb. She does not, nor does she. You see? Okay, the next one, but, is easy. But's very similar to and. It just kind of shows contrast. So, for example, the test today was really hard, but everyone still passed. See, both things could be true, but just kind of is the opposite of what you'd expect. Or gives you a choice. Let's see. For example, you can choose the hamburger or you can choose the pizza. Either or. You can't have both. You can have one. So or. A or B, this or that. Yet is similar to but it's even stronger. And it sometimes can show like someone giving in to something. For example, I was tired this morning, yet I forced myself to go to work. It's kind of like a stronger but, right? And it's like I gave in to the sleepiness. And finally, so is kind of like therefore. It shows a result. It's my sister's birthday today, so I gave her a gift. Okay? For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Now, how do we join these together? You have to have two independent clauses. You need to make sure they're independent. They could be complete sentences by themselves. Okay? Independent clause A, comma, coordinating conjunction, independent clause B. Okay? So, independent clause A, it's my sister's birthday today, comma, coordinating conjunction, so, independent clause B, I gave her a gift. It is my sister's birthday today, comma, so I gave her a gift. And that's how you use coordinating conjunctions. There's only 7, so it's easy. And you can memorize them pretty easily. And all you have to remember is a comma, right? Independent clause A, comma, conjunction, independent clause B, period. It's a good and simple way to join sentences together. You have 7 of them, so you have some leeway in choosing one that fits your sentence best. Now you might say, why do I need to learn all this grammar? Why can't I just write? Well, it's like this. What if you knew someone who said, hey, I'm a chef. Fantastic, man. Can you cook for me? Well, I don't really know how to use knives or ingredients. I don't know how to boil or fry or bake, but I'm a chef. You might think, are you though? And so anyone who writes words technically is a writer, one who writes. But if you want to be a storyteller, be taken seriously and produce good work, you need to learn the grammar. There's just no way around it. Grammar is just a shortcut that explains how languages function, how they're used by the people who speak them. And so we're going to be doing a few videos on how to join these clauses together. So today, coordinating conjunctions, learn them, use them, write some practice sentences, and it'll help improve your writing. Join us for the next video where we'll talk about subordinating conjunctions. Hope that helps. If you like the Write channel, please subscribe. It's free, no obligation. Click the like button, check out my Patreon link in the channel description, and tell all your friends. This is the Write Academy, and I'm Matthew R. Miller.